Now then, Connor, so as I said earlier on the show, I'm going to be incorporating plenty of unsigned music into the show as well as chatting to the Northeast bidding artists. I'm really excited to have you in the show this morning. Join me as well. Connor, welcome back to Nova Radio Northeast. What do you make of the new home?
Yeah, it's different. It's warm.
It is very, very warm.
It feels a bit more spacious. I can't remember what was it? Which centre was it last time?
It was in Newcastle, the Regis building. It was the one with the big L-shaped room.
Yeah, that was it. That's the last time I did a few in there, to be fair. This one, yeah, it's quite cosy. But yeah, no, it looks smaller, but it feels more spacious. It's really weird.
It is really weird indeed. So has it really been? So you were just saying off air there, it's been 3 years today since the 4 EP was it got released?
Yeah, so 4 years ago today I was headlining the Clooney 2 with a band. And yeah, I'd released the EP 4 years later. And that was kind of like the start, really, I guess. I mean, I did release Robots as my first single about 7-8 months beforehand. But the EP was kind of the first start of really getting into production and stuff. And everything I've released since then, it feels like I've improved on. So, but Robots is quite amateur. 4 years later was a little bit more in depth, and then the Change came after that, and that was a lot more involved. And then the album came out, and we got really heavy in that. And then the song that you're going to hear later on, that's been at a new studio, and we've had a new producer on that, and it's been pretty exciting to see the development.
Cool. Now, a lot of avid listeners, like I was saying before, will recognise you from when Mike Ryan hosted the Unsigned Music Show here on Nova Radio. Remind me, Connor, what awards have you actually won throughout that show? Because there was a fair few of them, wasn't there? Christmas.
Yeah, so I've only won 2. I think it was the Unsigned Artist of the Year Award 2019. I've still got that one, and Mike still owes me, but he's still got it in his house. The Change, the second EP that came out, that won EP of the Year 2020.
Really?
I think I came runner-up for Artist of the Year that year, and there's a lady called Joanne, I believe, from Sweden, Switzerland. I get the two countries mixed up. But from there, she won it. But I'm happy with second place. You know.
Yeah, so see, you were nominated for a fair few as well, those, weren't you?
Yeah, I get pushed forward quite a bit, but, which I do appreciate from you guys. And then hopefully, if he's doing an award this year, Home can take it.
Well, good luck to you with that one there, mate.
Thank you very
much. Now, the reason we are here is to chat about your latest single, Home, which is released on Friday. Yes. So start off just by giving me a bit of background behind the track.
Yeah, so the track itself, when I was writing it, I didn't have any sort of inspiration or any kind of like motive about writing a song. I just had the guitar, and I was just playing with bass notes on the top 2 strings. And I made a little bit of a bass riff. And then I whipped out, it's like garage band and stuff from the iMac. And I started just putting in the notes that I put in, and I tried a bit of drum beat in, then I played about with a synth, and it sounded like I had something different to what I've done before. And then I thought, right, okay, we'll try and put some lyrics together. It's going to be quite poppy, so it wasn't the most lyrical song. It's not the worst lyrical song, but it's not the best poetic. Took that to a studio, the one I used for the album, Riverside, which is great. We worked on that tirelessly for ages. We put guitar riffs in, we figured out which instruments to put in. And I was going to release it as it was this year at some point. And then I spoke with someone else and said, oh, look, what if we try and upgrade the studio to, I'm now using Blast Studios in Newcastle, just next to Manners metro station. And so we took the what I had as what was going to be the official track, use that as a demo, and we've worked further on it, and it's had basically 2 producers tirelessly working on this track, and it's basically about, obviously I work a lot of gigs, and it's just about getting that final time off, and it's like, I'm going home tonight, and it's like, it's been a while since I've been able to do that, so that is the lyrics, I'm going home tonight. And it was called Home Time for a long time, and then we just said, no, we're going to call it Home. And I've tried to get a lot of like homegrown talent involved. So I'm using, the cover photo is from a fella that works behind a bar at Buscat. He does the street works arts and stuff. And the cover photo is his graffiti on on the walls, and it looks pretty cool.
It does. It's on my Facebook page as well at the minute. I've
Everyone's
shared it
Facebook page.
yesterday. Yeah, so feel free to have a look at that. Michael Heppel on the radio. It does look very, very good. So obviously on top of obviously recording as well, are you still busking? Are you still doing a lot of gigs?
Yeah, yes. I haven't street busked in a while. I don't seem to find the time for that at the minute because there's a lot of gigs at the minute. So you'll normally find me in the Filthies area on a weekend. I'm either at Filthies or mainly the Points, which is downstairs. I do busking nights tonight. If anybody's in South Shields, come see me. I'm at the Chicken Royal from 8ish o'clock. And it's a buskers night, so if you want to turn up, sing a song, show me how it's done, please do. But yeah, it's just pretty much every week. It's between 10 and 15 gigs, which is mint. And then I just use all the income on recording studios.
Well, that's the best thing to do with it, isn't it, to be honest?
Reinvest it.
Yes, you've got to. And I was going to say, do you still, obviously you just said that, basically answered that one, do you still host buskers nights? So is it just the Shipping Royal that you do, or do you do any other ones these days?
At the minute, I've just started to host the Priory and Time Out for the first Sunday of every month. So the buskers is on every week, but they have different hosts every week.
Do
I'm
they?
going to be the first. I'm on this Sunday, then after that, it's the first Sunday of every month I'll be on. Yeah, if anyone wants to come down, mint.
I mean, I'll be there myself. I mean, I live in North Shields. I'll come all the way to the West End.
Yeah, absolutely. Just remember that I've got that this week.
But you've got a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Every week. As well as you were saying in the car on the way up here that you've got about 15 gigs now a week or somewhere around that region.
10, 15 a week.
Have you got any upcoming?
This week's quite quiet actually. To contrast what I just said, but there was a couple like double bookings and stuff, and with the single coming out this week, I kind of kept the weekend free in case I needed to do like promo gigs and stuff. But I do have one tomorrow if anybody fancies it. The record label I'm working at home with is called Beyond Records, and they are pretty much the record shop Beyond Vinyl, which is next to O2 Academy. Tomorrow the doors open at 6. It'll be finished by 7:30. It's quite a quick show. It's just going to be me for 45 minutes to an hour. Tickets are £3 in advance, £5 on the door. We're trying to just get people in to see the show. What I've done differently this time though is people may have seen me at Surf Cafe. I did that last year in September to release the album that came out last year. People came out. We were one ticket away from a sellout, really close.
Really?
And then the following February this year, I did Surf Cafe again, tried to record it all. We didn't sell as many because it's basically saying, look, come see the show that you've just seen 5 months ago. So what I'm doing this time, instead of giving you guys exactly what you've heard before, I've wrote like 3 or 4 new songs that are going to be 5. I think I've just added a new one on the set list. Are going to be put in the set. It's just going to be a completely different show to what you've seen. Obviously, Home's going to be there because that's the release gig. Alongside Home, there's a B track called Land of the Green. I'll play that live tomorrow as well. And basically, if people are like, well, I'm not too sure about buying this CD, well, come see the show, and if you enjoy the gig, come buy a CD. It's pushing for a physical charts, so you can stream it. That's fine. Go stream it. Get it on iTunes. Do what you do. But the reason I'm pushing this CDs is because we're trying to break the top 10 for the UK physical charts, and it seems likely at the minute. But if we can push another 100 sales, I might be able to push for top 5, maybe top 2. And
sometimes there's nothing better than an original CD as well. I mean, a lot of people are going back to vinyl now. Why can't we go back to CDs?
Exactly right. We'll start that trend.
Why not? Let's go back there again. Let's go back 20 years nearly. Yeah. As if it's been nearly 20 years since CD players. I've still got one of them, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. I remember going we went to the same school. So you went High Barons with me.
Yeah.
2 years before. I remember walking around High Barons with me Walkman playing Scissor Sisters. That was great crap.
I used to collect all the, now that's what I call music CDs.
So did I.
And I think the first one I ever got was Now 62.
Yeah.
And I went on every one after that. I think I only missed a couple.
I think I got up to about the Now 87s and kind of gave up at that point.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I had a little bit further than that. I got a Now 104.
Oh, that's good going.
It's pretty good going, isn't it? I mean, they were expensive as well when you bought them brand new.
Yeah.
They were like £14 a CD.
15 quid a CD.
And I used to go to that entertainment. Remember that shop in the Royal Keys?
Yes, was the I do, yes.
Where they were like, you get a CD for like a couple of quid.
Video games and stuff, and...
That used to be an amazing shop. I wish it was still there.
It's basically now CEX now, isn't it? That's what's taken over it.
Yeah, but that one, it was its own little thing. I'd never seen another one. It was just on the Royal Keys.
Oh, I'm sure I've seen 2 of them.
2?
Yeah, I don't know whether it was in Newcastle or if I've seen one in Birmingham or something, but it had a little franchise branch out kind of thing.
I mean, I was a little bit gutted when we lost. I was a bit gutted when we lost that shot. And I think around that time was when Royal Keys was starting to decline massively.
Yeah.
There was a lot of empty units, but I mean, to be fair, by the looks of it, to be fair to the
Big
organisations, went straight back up again. They've got a lot more local, independent shops in there now, and I think they've even got a bar on there now. I think there's
Possibly.
I think
know
it
they've
sells
always
like
had Brewers Fair
IPAs.
across the road.
Yeah.
I used to work there actually. I was one of the kitchen chefs.
Really?
For a brief time. But yeah.
So you were saying before, like on the way up here, that you've just kind of went full time recently. What other jobs did you do before you went full time into being a musician?
Oh, so if we go in the timeline order, I was a paper boy when I was like 14. And it was great because I earned a tenner a week doing it, but I didn't like to do it, so I paid my brother a £5 a week to do it for us. So I was technically in management at that point, making a £5.
Have you got any management experience straight away right there?
That was it. When I was 16, I started part-time at Morrison's in Tynemouth.
Yeah.
I was there for quite a while, about 5 or 6 years maybe. Then I left that, became a pub chef at the Brewers Fair. That was only last like a few months. And then I got a job at PayPal's call centre. And that was mint, but the only reason I had to leave there is because they were starting to make redundancies because they outsourced the Philippines. And it was a really good job, I was enjoying it, but they went from about 200 staff to 70 staff in the space of a month. And I was like, that's my job's going soon. So I became it changed. It started off with this company called DC Life, then it became Square Health. And it was like an insurance assistant, as you were. So if you bought life insurance, I would be the person that rang you up to arrange a medical to make sure everything fit the bill. But whilst I was doing that, I was teaching myself guitar. And after about 6 months of that, I started doing busker nights and I sounded horrendous. And then after another few months, I started getting a couple of gigs here and there. And then when I noticed the gigs were overcoming the workload I was doing, so I was doing gigs on a Thursday night till 3 a.m, and then I was getting up on Friday morning at 8 to do work, and I was like,
I can't do it.
One or the other. So yeah, eventually I ended up packing that job in, and then full-time music was 2019. And I was doing about 9 gigs a week, which was great. And then the pandemic kicked in, and then all the gigs had to stop, and then a lot of musicians went back to like normal jobs, so all the gigs were available. So I went from 0 gigs a week to about 15 gigs a week.
Yeah.
And then it was just manic, and I don't think I stopped.
I really hope we don't have to ever go back to that kind of time again.
Thank God we don't. Like, that was the worst.
It's funny before when you said about having a paper round, because my sister used to do exactly the same thing to me. She used to have a one, and it was more me and my dad would be going out in like the winter months. I think she got it in August.
Yeah.
So it was always, oh, this is going to be great. Like the weather's nice anyway. Like it's going to be great. And as soon as it got to like October, she was like,
nah, you can do it
I don't like this. It's cold. Yes. I don't like going out in the cold. And my dad's a postman. He was like, well, I did try and tell you this, but she didn't listen. She still went with it.
Fair enough. Did Rachel pay you the full amount, or did you just take half cut?
I think she used to give us. I think she used to give us a little bit, just every week. She'd be like, she wouldn't give us the full amount, but she went, oh, there's a couple of quid for doing it, just like that, you know.
Outsourcing.
So, what plans have you got for like the imminent and the distant future?
Distant future, sell at Wembley. Imminent future, sell at Wembley. No. Yeah, so like I said, I've got the release gig tomorrow at Beyond Vinyl. I've got a gig in HMV in September, 11 o'clock on the 24th, I believe. I'll be doing like a 45-minute stint. Again, loop pedal, I'll make a different show to Beyond. So every gig people try to come to originals, I'm going to try and make sure it's different to the one you've seen before. There'll be some songs you'll know, but there'll be some new stuff that I'll work into it. I think my plans at the minute is I'm really gunning for that UK #1 on Friday. The one next week it'll get announced if it happens. I'm kind of slowly settling down to the idea of maybe top 10, but if we can make top 1, that'd be mint. But then after that, I've got a single's already being recorded in the studio. It's just being mixed as we speak, and then that might come out later this year or very early next year. And it's just, I want to put on more local shows, but I don't want people to be like, oh, I've just, like I said before, I don't want people to be like, oh, well, I've seen it last week. Well, I've seen it last month. That's fine, but this month there's brand new songs you'll enjoy. Get a bit more crowd interaction. All right, yeah, we'll come see what the difference is. So I think next year my closer plans are just trying to arrange an original show every month. Just about 15 minutes ago, I was brainstorming a plan for next August, and I'll see if I can get something sorted for that. But yeah, I think it's just trying to get more local original stuff on the go.
Yeah, absolutely. And just finally, do you want to go through all your socials so people can keep an eye on things and keep up with what you're doing?
Yeah. So I've got quite a few things to go through. So if you're on Facebook, my name's Conor Michael. That's Connor spelt with one N. That's Michael spelt with one M. On Instagram, it's Connor_Michael_music. TikTok is Conor Michael, I think. Twitter is the exact same. So is YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Pokemon Go. I think I'm just CMW267. Also, I hope you guys don't mind me advertising. I also run a podcast as well. We're not rivaling Nova. We just do an hour a week where we chat with local musicians. So if any musicians are listening, they want to join a podcast, drop me a message. We're called Off the Stage. Our socials are Off the Stage UK on everything except for Twitter. Is Off the Stage 2 because somebody stole Off the Stage UK and we have to settle for second. It's great.
Really?
But we release episodes every Tuesday. So if you want to check them out, we had a couple of lads on, Ben and Brett, who were just starting a band up. They just left a band called Indigo. And we're still deciding a name for them. We're going to try, as a listenership, to decide that name for next week. And we just had a band, Mantro, on, which got released last Tuesday. So do check Off the Stage podcast out. It's hosted by me and James Berry, but also please do check out my socials. Because I'm trying to sell the CDs as I was going back to it. We're trying to break the physical charts, and to do that I need to sell the CDs, and they're $2.99 each. But they come with a B-side. If you go on my socials, you'll find the link to buy that. That's through Beyond Records, Beyond Vinyl. And again, if you buy a ticket tomorrow, you might be able to just say, yeah, that was really good. I'll buy the CD too.
No worries. I was just going to add to that as well. I'll be putting this interview out on my YouTube channel as well, which is Michael Heppel Interviews. So if you're thinking that, oh, how do I get one of these CDs? I'll put in the description on that all the ways as well. So then you can get in touch with Connor and get one of them CDs sent over, because that is the only way he will get the number one, is if you buy a physical CD copy. Is that right?
That is right. Can you imagine having a UK number one, coming back here with the pink and blue trophy and being like, hey, look, Nova, we've done it.
It would be amazing, wouldn't it? It'd be amazing.
Everybody supports Sam Fender because he's up there. Let's support the next one.
That's it.
As well.
And you're from North Shields as well, aren't you? Initially.
Originally, yeah. I was there for about 19 years, I believe.
Yeah, that's how long me and you've known each other. I mean, you went to primary school together, a couple of years in between.
Yeah.
High school together. Like, we've kind of grown up with each other, really, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And who would have thought about 20 years ago we'd be meeting together in a radio station?
Who would have thought that, indeed, mate? Who would have thought that, indeed? Anyhow, thank you very much for coming on.
It's been great.
I really appreciate you coming down. Yeah, it's a canny way as well from the Whitley Bay where you're from now, isn't it?
It's not too bad. I can drive up and down. It's fine.
Well, the time is now coming up to 1:15. It's about 43 minutes past 12. And let's get this new single on then, eh? This is Conor Michael's new single, Home, which is released on Friday.
What a banger.